Steph Curry, by the way. Steph Curry. He was on with Tim Roy last night after the game. Oh. Tim Roy, you got us. You snookered us. But
you had CP3.
Yeah, I know. We had CP3 for like the fourth time. I love talking to CP3. Steph Curry on the radio with Tim Roy after the game. Listen to what he had to say about OKC. I thought I was the only one. But apparently Steph Curry joined me in watching the OKC game over.
The OKC game, I got home that night. I watched the whole game at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 8 and I watched it again, to your point, just because you're trying to understand where things went wrong and where you can get better. We still have to do that even in a win. You know, you want to lift that cloud hanging over our team because, again, we don't want to form a losing identity, and you want to have something to show for the effort, like I said, that we putting into the game.
And so that's Steph Curry watching the game over Saturday night. He looked it too. I saw him late that night. He definitely watched that game back. You could tell he was desperate yesterday. He went 8 of 14, very efficient. Steph is Steph. Steph is, as long as we got Steph, we got a chance. But Tim Roy telling Steph Curry, this was really cool, about passing up Nate Thurmond for most minutes played in franchise history.
In this game, you passed Nate Thurmond for the most minutes played by a Warrior in franchise history.
I'm tired. I got to go get in the cold tub. Good grace. Don't tell me that. That's the stuff you don't tell me.
30,000 plus minutes as a Warrior. That's an incredible record. You know, Nate Thurmond was a mainstay of this franchise.
For sure. It kind of goes back to, I might have done it like 3 years ago had Coach played us a couple more fourth quarters back in the day.
we shouldn't have been up 30 going into the fourth then.
You're still a little miffed about that point guard from Texas A&M playing ahead of you.
You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty cool acknowledgement, though. But no doubt, it's a lot of running around.
Man, AC Law in 2023 still catching slugs.
Am I the only one that was surprised by that he's the all-time minutes leader?
Yeah, I thought it'd be Wilt.
Me too.
I thought it'd be Rick Barry. But, I mean, he has played.
But Rick was in and out. Wilt was one I thought.
Wilt, yeah, that was.
Because Wilt averaged more than 48 minutes per game one season because all the games went to overtime, which is incredible. So, like, call me naive. I didn't think this was an attainable statistic.
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere. So, Steph just shattering the record books in Warriors history. No surprise there, as last segment was sponsored by Golden State Lumber, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. You're also listening to 95.7 The Game. KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget that you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Sponsored by our very good friends at First NorCal Credit Union. Just log on to search 95.7 The Game. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel while you are there. Shout out to the Comcast business text line as well. What's up?
So 2 quick stats on Wilt Chamberlain that I knew going in. He averaged over 45 minutes a game.
Yep.
For his career.
Right.
Okay. And one season.
Average over 50.
One season, he averaged 6 seconds of rest per game. In the one that he didn't average over 50. That was the one after that.
Well, the great story about Wilt Chamberlain was that coaches say, hey, we got practice early in the morning, and Wilt will tell him, you're going to get me once a day, either at the game or practice. You choose. And, of course, he came to the game, did what he had to do, and then went out to his nightclubs or whatnot. Wilt is like it's an urban legend, man. His numbers were just sick.
You're talking about getting off the schneid, in the bedroom as well. Wilt never had that problem.
No,
I don't think he ever hit the schneid.
He led the league in off-field transactions 8 years in a row, the same years that he also led the league in minutes 8 years in a row.
I mean, it's a living legend right there. I wouldn't know about that life.
Top 5.
All-time scorer.
All-time scorer.
All-time scorer.
Off and on the court.
Well,
Off and on the court. Oh, well. Easy there. Easy.
Antonio Cromartie.
Easy. Still with Cookie.
Spawn.
See Phillip Rivers.
The Magic Johnson interview about the elevator.
Oh, my God. 60 minutes. Was that 60 minutes or was that 2020?
Was that Chris Wallace?
Yeah. He goes, I would just see that look in their eye. And I'm like, oh, boy. It's on. It's on.
There are some photos from the 80s with Magic Johnson that are just incredible.
They are incredible. The Forum Club. Iconic.
It is unbelievable. All these Paul Bunyan-esque statistics that I thought were never going to be achieved by anyone. this skinny little guy who was the third point guard taken and had ankle injuries and didn't start early, as you reference AC Law. Like, it's just crazy that he's broken all of these records. I mean, you're going to look up, he's going to be number one in everything.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
And the Warriors aren't they? They're not the Oklahoma City Thunder where they're like a rebranded team with new history or
they've got
the New Orleans Pelicans.
They have a lot of history, but unfortunately they had a lot of bad history.
They did.
For damn near 40 years.
But Wilt Chamberlain is one of
Wilt Chamberlain.
Seminal giants in sports history.
You have iconic players. There's no doubt. Iconic players. Al Attles, Nate Thurmond, Wilt Chamberlain, Rick Barry. Jamal Wilkes was here for a while. Of course, we got Chris Bullen, Tim Hardaway Sr. I
David Wood.
Well,
Mookie Blaylock, Speedy Claxton. If you're going to go down the annals of great players.
I'm going great players here.
Okay.
Great players, not David Wood or the janitor or custodian, Brian Cardinal.
Hey, don't you talk down on my guy.
Come on,
got
man.
a big deal with Memphis after coming to the
Dallas.
Warriors.
Was it Memphis or Dallas?
I thought it was
Memphis and then went to Dallas and won the championship. Won an NBA championship. Out of Purdue, Brian Cardinal. Let's go to Coach Hall down in San Diego.
The other Mark Jackson.
From Temple.
Yeah.
He's doing Philadelphia Sixers pre- and post-game. He does a pre- and post-game out there in Philadelphia. Yeah. They got the
Does
same
he wear
setup.
a headset? Because he had bad hands. There's no way he holds a mic.
Oh, boy. No, he doesn't hold the mic, I don't think.
That's a bad joke.
No, he's,
Small hands, that was his problem.
Oh, dude.
Couldn't be
Mark Jackson would get underneath the rim, and they'd throw him the ball, and he'd drop it like 3 or 4 times, and then he'd pick it up. He'd miss his own shot. Him and Danny Fortson, the kings of the double-double, where you miss 3 or 4 of those shots to get 3 or 4 extra rebounds.
Danny Fortson out of Cincinnati. Bob Huggins has some hard heads there, man. He has some knuckleheads at that school.